Your turbo is spinning at over 150,000 RPM every time you drive, and it survives on nothing but a few millimeters of oil film, keeping two metal shafts from grinding themselves into scrap. That's the entire system. And most turbo owners are destroying it without even knowing it, one quick drive-through shutdown at a time. If you're driving a Mustang EcoBoost, an F-150, a Subaru RX, a Silverado 1500, or basically anything with a turbo bolted to it, stick around, because by the end of this video you're going to know exactly what kills turbos on American roads every single day, and exactly how to make yours outlast the rest of the car. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. And this is the big one, shutting your engine off right after hard driving. You get off the highway, pull into the driveway, and kill the engine. Feels harmless, right? Except that turbo was just spinning at insane speeds and running red hot, and the moment you shut the engine off, oil flow stops instantly. That superheated oil sitting inside the turbo bearings starts to cook, and over time it turns into a sludgy, varnish-like buildup that starves your bearings of lubrication. The fix is stupidly simple. Give your car 20 to 30 seconds of idle before shutting it down after any hard driving. Some newer cars even have a turbo timer or auto cool-down feature built in. Either way, that half a minute is the difference between a turbo that lasts 150,000 miles and one that's whining and smoking by 60,000. Number 2. Oil changes, but not the way most people think about them. Everybody knows oil matters. Here's what people actually get wrong. They treat their turbo engine like it's still their old naturally aspirated Camry. Turbocharged engines run hotter, spin faster, and break oil down quicker than anything your dad ever drove. If your oil life monitor says 7,000 miles, but you're doing a lot of stop-and-go city driving or towing, that oil is degrading way faster than the computer thinks it is. Run a real full synthetic, not a synthetic blend trying to pass itself off as the real thing. And honestly, shorten that interval a bit, especially if you drive hard or live somewhere hot. Cheap oil in a turbo engine isn't saving you money, it's basically sandpaper for your bearings, and you'll end up paying for that mistake 10 times over when the turbo itself goes. Number 3, and this one catches people off guard, flooring it cold. You start the car, back out of the driveway, and immediately get on it. Your turbo needs oil pressure to build and coat every surface before it takes a real load. Hammering the throttle in the first couple minutes is like sprinting a marathon without ever stretching. Give it a minute or two of easy driving first. Let everything come up to temperature and pressure before you push the RPMs. Number 4. Ignoring boost leaks. If you're hearing a hiss under acceleration, feeling a slight loss of power, or your car just doesn't pull like it used to, that's often a cracked hose or a loose clamp letting boost escape. It seems minor, but a boost leak forces your turbo to spin harder trying to hit its target pressure, and that extra strain wears it out fast. Get it checked before a cheap hose turns into an expensive turbo. Number 5. And I see this constantly on used cars, running the wrong oil viscosity. Every turbo engine has a manufacturer-specified weight for a reason. It's built around exact tolerances for those bearing clearances. People switch to whatever's cheapest at the parts store, or whatever their buddy runs in his diesel truck. And it's simply not designed for that engine. Run something too thick, and it can't flow fast enough to cool those bearings when they need it most. Run something too thin, and you lose the film strength holding those spinning shafts apart. Check your owner's manual, use exactly what it calls for, every single time, no exceptions. Number 6. Skipping your air filter. A clogged filter forces your turbo to work harder pulling in the air it needs, and that extra strain adds up over thousands of miles. It's a 5-minute job and one of the cheapest ways to protect your investment. Number 7. towing or hauling without adjusting how you drive. If you've got a turbocharged F-150 or Silverado and you're pulling a trailer up a mountain grade, that turbo is working significantly harder and running hotter than normal. Watch your gauges, avoid lugging the engine at low RPM under heavy load, and let it cool down properly afterward. That idle step matters even more when you're towing. Number 8. Cheap aftermarket parts, especially budget turbo replacements or off-brand hoses and clamps. I get it, money matters, but a $50 knockoff intercooler pipe that blows off under boost can send your turbo into overspeed and destroy it in seconds. Spend a little more on parts actually rated for your engine's boost pressure. Number 9. Ignoring small check engine lights. A P0299 underboost code, a P234 overboost code. These aren't random letters and numbers. That's your car begging for attention. So many people see the light, notice the car still drives fine, and figure it'll sort itself out. It won't. Turbo-related codes especially should never sit ignored for months. Catch it early and it's $100 fix, maybe a sensor or a hose. Let it ride and ignore it long enough, and it turns into a $1,500 turbo replacement. Sometimes more. And number 10. Nothing but short trips, over and over, never letting the engine run long enough to burn off condensation and fuel dilution in the oil. If your daily driving is all 2-mile runs to the store, that oil never gets hot enough, long enough, to actually do its job. Every couple weeks, take it on a real drive, 20 or 30 minutes on the highway, and let that engine breathe. Here's the truth nobody tells you when you buy a turbocharged car. The technology gives you incredible power and efficiency, but it's a lot less forgiving of bad habits than the old naturally aspirated engines everyone grew up driving. The good news, every single mistake on this list is completely avoidable, and none of them cost you more than a few extra minutes or a little extra attention. Stay on top of these 10 things, and your turbo isn't just going to survive, it's going to outlast the rest of the car. If this saved you from a mistake you didn't even know you were making, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people. Drop a comment and tell me which one caught you off guard. I read every single one of them. And if you actually want to keep this engine running strong for the long haul, subscribe to Infinite Garage. Because next week we're breaking down the exact maintenance schedule that'll keep any turbo engine alive well past 200,000 miles. See you in the next one.